Have you ever set aside a single dollar and thought, well, that's basically nothing. What difference is this going to make? You work all day, get your paycheck, pay your rent, handle your bills, and maybe, just maybe, you try to save 5 or 10 bucks. It feels pointless, right? Like, how can that tiny amount ever change your future? Most people believe that building wealth means huge, dramatic leaps, landing a dream job, inheriting money, or getting lucky with the right investment. But here's the truth that most never realize. Wealth isn't built through big moments. It's built through small, consistent ones. My name's Nick, and I've spent years thinking about money, psychology, and why some people seem to naturally move toward financial stability, while others stay stuck, repeating the same cycle of stress and scarcity. If you've ever felt like the financial system is rigged against you, or that saving is hopeless when you're starting from nothing, this video is for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like, because by the end of this, I promise you'll look at money very differently. Let's start with something simple but real. Every success story starts small. Someone skipped a coffee, saved $10, put away $20 from their paycheck. It didn't feel like much, but that small step, repeated over and over, built momentum. And momentum is where change begins. People waste years waiting for that one big break, a perfect business idea, the right investment, the next promotion. And while they're waiting, they're doing nothing with what they already have. They don't realize that consistency with small actions beats perfection every single time. The people who actually build wealth, they didn't wait. They started small, stayed steady, and let time do the heavy lifting. Now let's look at what most people are actually dealing with financially. You've heard that most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. It's not a myth. The average person doesn't even have 2 weeks worth of emergency savings. 2 weeks. That means one unexpected bill. A car repair, a doctor's visit, a job loss can send them into full-blown panic. They're forced into debt. They borrow from friends or family. They feel ashamed and stuck. But here's the twist. Breaking that cycle doesn't require thousands of dollars. In fact, research shows that saving just $1,000 can completely shift how people think and feel about money. $1,000 isn't impossible. It's a few months of focus, cutting small expenses, maybe picking up a side gig. And once you hit that number, your mindset changes. You stop operating out of fear and start thinking about possibilities. Here's something fascinating about human psychology. Motivation doesn't come from giant, faraway goals. It comes from small wins you can feel right now. When you save your first $50, you feel proud. Your brain gives you a small hit of dopamine, that I did it feeling. So you do it again. Next week, you save another $50. Now you've got 100. That progress lights a spark. Maybe you cancel a subscription or cook at home more often. Each small win creates the next. The mistake most people make, they go too hard, too fast. They try to save hundreds overnight, get overwhelmed, and quit. Real progress isn't about perfection, it's about sustainability. Now let's talk about the math behind this, the real power of compounding. Everyone's heard of compound interest, but few truly understand it. Let's say you invest just $50 a month. That's around $2 a day. You put it in an index fund earning roughly 7% per year. Pretty average, historically. After 1 year, you've got $600. Not impressive, right? But by year 5, that's $3,400. Year 10, $8,000. Year 15, about $13,500. By year 20, almost $20,000. Here's the wild part. In year 20 alone, your investment earns nearly $2,000 in returns, more than you contributed that year. That's the compounding effect. Your money starts working for you, not the other way around. And beyond the math, something deeper happens. You start seeing money differently. You realize time and consistency are more valuable than chasing the next big win. You begin making choices consciously, trading short-term pleasure for long-term freedom. Suddenly, that $4 coffee isn't just a drink, it's an investment choice. That impulse buy isn't harmless, it's taking from your future self. And that awareness, that control, changes everything. Here's the key psychological shift. When you save small amounts consistently, your brain starts to believe that you are someone who saves, not someone trying to save, but a saver. And that identity becomes your anchor. Every time you skip an unnecessary expense, you're reinforcing that identity. Every dollar saved becomes proof that you can change. And once your brain sees evidence that you're capable of discipline, it wants to keep proving it. That's how habits lock in. You don't need massive sacrifices, you just need sustainable small wins. Skip one coffee, cook one extra meal, cancel one app subscription. Tiny steps, but steps you can maintain. Then something amazing happens. Your stress starts to fade. Studies show that even a small financial cushion reduces anxiety and improves sleep. You start making smarter decisions because you're no longer desperate. You negotiate better. You walk away from bad deals. You start thinking strategically instead of emotionally. Confidence replaces panic. Calm replaces chaos. And that shift changes how people treat you in jobs, in business, in relationships. And here's the moment everyone looks forward to when your money starts earning money. Let's say you've got $5,000 saved and it's growing at 7%. That's $350 a year in passive income, money that came from time, not not labor. At 20,000 saved, that's 1,400 a year. At $50,000, $3,500. At 100,000, $7,000. And that's without lifting a finger. At some point, your investments earn more than you do in a week or even a month. And that's when you realize you're free, not because of luck, not because of inheritance, but because of small, consistent wins. Now, here's where most people give up: the boring phase. The early months when the progress looks too small to matter. That's when discipline matters most. The wealthy keep going when it feels pointless. They stay consistent when there's no visible reward because they understand time is doing the heavy lifting. The truth is, this isn't just about money. Every small financial win builds mental strength. It's proof you can delay gratification, and that skill changes everything. People who can delay gratification with money are better at everything else too: relationships, health, business. They play the long game. They understand that small daily actions compound into massive results. So here's what I want you to take away: you're not too late. You're not too far behind. You don't need luck. Start with